The Smart Cost System is a web-based software solution, specifically designed to automatically adjust service and material contract prices by applying simple and complex polynomial formulas that use multiple and diverse inflation indices to achieve the required adjustment required for each contract. It is a fully software-as-a-service solution, hosted on Microsoft Azure infrastructure, and fully accessible, without the need for any installation on the client's infrastructure. In addition to solving this problem, the system combines technologies, methodologies, and specialized knowledge for industries such as oil and gas, energy, and mining, which enable the definition of cost models and efficient analysis of price evolution in a simple and easy-to-implement way. Conceptually, the system is used as follows. First, by creating contract headers where general data is defined for each contract. Contract number, supplier, effective date, and the agreed rank, as well as other classification data. Once the header is created, the cost structure is defined by building the polynomial formula, specifying the percentage or relative weight of each component within the total cost structure. For example, labor, fuel, materials, and equipment used to deliver the service, and the relative weight of each component. Once the relative weight of each component is established, an inflation index is assigned to each one, which will be used to adjust that portion of the cost structure over time. In addition to assigning inflation indices, other characteristics commonly included in adjustment formulas agreed with suppliers and clients can be defined, such as trigger thresholds, which determine when an adjustment must be applied, or update frequencies, defining how often price updates should be made. For example, updates may be agreed every 3 or 6 months, and this is also parameterized in each contract during its configuration. Finally, and optionally, price lists can be assigned to each contract so that the system not only calculates the percentage variation, but also applies it to calculate the new adjusted prices. To operate, the system includes different configuration modules. The most relevant are security, where it offers different roles, from viewer to approver, and a horizontal security layer based on purchasing organization, allowing role segmentation across different business units. It also includes another key module, inflation indices. We provide, as part of the service, the collection and loading of multiple inflation indices, which are commonly used for contract adjustments. This means that by subscribing to the system and index service, clients are freed from having to search multiple sources, as the data is already loaded directly by us. When a user logs into the system, they are presented with a dashboard displaying key indicators for contract management and adjustment calculations. One of the most relevant shows updates related to inflation indices, which are later used for calculating adjustments. By accessing this indicator, users can view recently updated indices, previous values, new values, and their variation percentages. This information can be exported to spreadsheets and used in other contexts. By navigating through the menu bar, users can access different options. One of the most important is the contracts screen, which lists all existing contracts in the system. By entering any contract, users can view the details of the polynomial formula used for adjustments. In this example, the formula includes 4 components: labor, vehicles, materials, and fuel, each with its percentage weight. Next to each component, the inflation index used for adjustment is displayed. In the Indices tab, additional details are available regarding calculation methods and formula structure. A key element is the base date or last adjustment date, which determines which index values and dates are used for calculations. Another relevant element is the trigger threshold, commonly used in adjustment models. This defines the percentage threshold above which adjustments are applied. At the bottom, all indices and their base values and dates are displayed. These values come from the system's index master data, which is maintained and updated automatically. Users do not need to manually load them, as they are already available and simply used when assigning indices to contracts. In the Items tab, users can manage the contract price list, which can be entered manually, imported from spreadsheets, or integrated via APIs. With the company's ERP system, there are integrations for contract headers, items, and for sending adjusted prices back to the ERP after processing. Creating a polynomial formula is simple and fast. It starts from the contract creation screen, where key header data is entered: contract number, contractor, contract name, currency, and optionally, start and end dates. Once created, the next step is to build the cost structure by adding components, such as labor, materials, and vehicles, or assets. Each component is assigned a percentage weight. For example, 70% labor, 20% vehicles, and 10% materials. Then, the corresponding inflation indices are selected for each component. Relevant indices are selected for each component. Once selected, the formula is fully defined in a simple and fast way. Next, in the Indices tab, the base date and tariff validity date are defined, used for adjustment calculations, and trigger thresholds, if applicable, are also defined. Finally, price lists can be loaded manually or imported from files to speed up the process of loading prices. Once imported, the contract is ready for adjustment simulation, using the simulation module. Simulations can be launched manually by selecting contracts and entering a simulation name and date. The system then processes the simulation and displays results. Results include variation percentages and execution details. Detailed breakdowns show cost structure and calculation logic. Trigger conditions are also displayed. Users can drill down to see full calculation details, including index values and variations, previous values, and new values. This allows full traceability of calculations and full transparency. Reports can be exported, including price evolution and adjustment details. Clicking Apply creates the new version, which is stored in the system history, showing updated contract versions, with updated dates and data, including structure, and updated indices. Prices are updated automatically. The system also includes additional features, such as scheduled simulations, allowing automatic execution. Without manual intervention, users can also access index value history and consult inflation index trends such as CPI. The system displays index evolution and loading timestamps. Data can be exported for further use. The system includes many additional features, but these are the most relevant ones. We hope this overview has been useful and remain available to present additional functionalities. Thank you very much.